Hey everybody, Graham here. So, first of all, just to give you an update, I'm feeling a lot better. My temperature's down. It's still a little grungy in the chest and throat, nose, the usual stuff that, you would, sometimes you get a cold and that sort of grungy feeling hangs on for a while, even after you've gotten better. You're still walking around kind of coughing and scratchy and stuff. That's kind of where I am right now. I feel okay. I'm working today. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty close. I have excuse me. There you go, right there. I have, interestingly, I mean, I guess this is a pretty common symptom, but I've completely lost my sense of smell, and my sense of taste is it's not gone, but I feel like I'm tasting in black and white, sort of. I mean, I can taste very general flavors, like I can taste sweet, I can taste salty, I can taste sour, but there's no nuance at all. So that's kind of interesting. Just to sort of test this, I opened up a bottle of rubbing alcohol and stuck my nose in it and took a huge deep breath. And if you've ever done that, you know that that is some pungent stuff. Like, you are going to go when you do that. Nothing. Just took a big sniff, did not smell a damn thing. So that's a little frustrating. And the funny thing about this is that I went recently to see the comedian Sebastian Maniscalco, and he does a whole bit about getting vaccinated. And please, I do not want to start a fight about vaccinations in the comments. I personally have had vaccinations. I have not had the most recent one. My girlfriend, by the way, has, and got better 2 days before I did. So, just a little point of information there. But I don't care if you got it, you didn't got it, whatever. It's your choice. So please don't come at me about it. That's just not what this is about. And in fact, that's kind of where Sebastian went with his thing. He said, this was hilarious. He said, I didn't get the shot to save you. I didn't even get the shot to save me. What happened is that a shockwave went through the Italian American community when we found out that we could lose our sense of taste. I got the shot because I want to die with the taste of a meatball in my mouth. I about died when I heard that. That was funny stuff. So that's kind of where I am. Like, I'm hoping my sense of taste comes back because I'm half Italian, man. So, but the main thing that I want to talk about today is the Twitter files, and in particular, the corporate media's reaction to the Twitter files, which I think is very interesting. So, I'm sure that most of you are aware of what's going on. Like, you can go over to Twitter and you can read the source yourself. But just as general background, Elon Musk is giving this information to several independent journalists. And for me, the term independent journalist is synonymous with entrepreneurial journalist, right? But the point is that these are people who don't work for big news agencies. These are people who work for themselves and cover what they want to cover and go as deep as they want to go into it. And so far we've seen threads from Matt Taibbi and Barry Weiss and another person whose name escapes me at the moment. I apologize for that. And they are sort of going through all of this and putting it into a coherent timeline. And so far we have seen the run-up to the January 6th business, and then the preparations that the Twitter crew made to ban a sitting head of state from their platform. And if you read this stuff, it's pretty disturbing, because you have people from the FBI and Homeland Security and other agencies all meeting with these people at Twitter who are in charge of censorship and essentially running ops against the president. And in fact, it has been confirmed by Elon that Twitter had shadow banned Trump prior to the election. Think about that for a minute. Imagine like a TV station just kind of not showing ads from a particular candidate. Like, yeah, we'll take the ad and we'll take the money, but we'll just forget to run them. That's essentially what Twitter is doing. They were censoring a presidential campaign. Now, you can have your opinion about Trump or whatever. Reasonable people can differ on political candidates and political parties, but what I think should concern everybody is the fact that the federal bureaucracy would have such a drastic impact on a media outlet. I mean, you can call it social media, but it's still media. I mean, you still have people publishing news stories, essentially, on Twitter. So I think that's really disturbing. And it's even more disturbing that a lot of other people seem to think that it's not disturbing or even a good thing. But be that as it may, what I'm really interested in at this point is the corporate media response to all of this, because my observance of the corporate media leads me to believe that they've got a playbook for this sort of thing. And I think you're going to see it run this week. The playbook goes something like this. Okay, so something that is damaging to the corporate media's preferred narrative happens. The first reaction is ignore it. Just don't even talk about it. It didn't happen. And that, prior to the advent of the internet and social media, would have been enough. Right? Just ignore it, spike the story, didn't happen, nobody hears about it, and that's that. But now, of course, we have the internet, and people are going to be blasting stuff on the internet, particularly when you've got someone like Elon who's, has the ability to get that stuff out and get people to pay attention to it. So now what you're going to see is this. The corporate media is going to downplay the actual thing, right? The collusion between the government and Twitter. That's going to be a side issue. And it's going to be heavily implied that it's a nothing burger, that this is just a lot of noise but no substance. But what they are going to cover is the coverage, which means that you're going to start seeing hit pieces on Matt Taibbi and Barry Weiss and anybody else who reports this stuff. And you're going to see more hit pieces on Elon, and you're going to see more hit pieces on Twitter, and you're going to see a lot of promotion of things like Mastodon, which, by the way, I installed a new version of the Vivaldi browser, which I use sometimes, and noticed that they have added some Mastodon integration into that. And a few of the techie YouTube channels that I watch have started running tutorials on how to set up Mastodon, which I find all very interesting. But yeah, so watch for the media to run this play, right? Ignore the story, cover the coverage. I think if you watch for that, you're going to see it, and it's pretty enlightening when you see it working. If this is not something that you've noticed before, and I by no means am I the first person ever to notice this. I mean, I did not come up with this idea, but it did pop right into my head when this stuff started coming out. And some of the people with a more leftist bent are, oh, this is nothing. This is, Elon's just trying to make noise, or Elon's propping up the alt-right or whatever. You see the beginnings of it, but it's going to happen in an organized fashion probably this week. So to folks like Matt and Barry, watch your back. I hope you've got security and defense systems in place, because you're going to need them. And for the rest of you, just pay attention, because it's going to be interesting. And with that, my throat is starting to feel like it's going to fall out, so I'm going to end here. I will talk to you guys in the next one. I will see you soon. Graham out. Bye.